Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse. I am so excited. Today is Friday, May 19th. We have such an amazing show for you today. I have two powerhouse guests on, making a difference in people's lives in our community. They're really empowering people to lead and live a better, more holistic lifestyle, which I'm very much an advocate for. So on today's episode, I've got the amazing Nancy O'Fallon from New Vision Empowerment. We're going to be talking about her story and the amazing programs that she's created and that she's offering to her clients. So I cannot wait to bring her out. And then we have Jessica Matthews, writer, speaker, respected educator. She's an industry expert in the field of health and fitness, professor of kinesiology in Point Loma Nazarene University. I don't know what this girl does not do. I think she does a little bit of everything. So I cannot wait to have you meet her, talk to her about her story and the things that she's doing. Now, before we get started, I want to tell you that we are continuing on with our Entrepreneur Confessions. So you know that we love to inspire our local entrepreneur community, talking about their stories and what really keeps them going when times get tough. Because we know, let's face it, being an entrepreneur is not easy. So we are going to continue doing that. We're going to be asking our guests on the show about their entrepreneur confessions. And what I would love to see from you guys is a video that's under a minute. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to share your confession, please send it to me at thepulsesd.com. You can also hit us up on social media and send us your video. If you want some samples, you can watch us on Instagram. You can see some of the ones that we've actually received from entrepreneurs. So we would love to capture that for you. The other thing is we would love for you to come on our show as a live guest. So if you've got a story, if you've got something that you want to showcase, Fridays are our live shows at 11 a.m. We would love to have you on as a guest. And then we are going to be adding a Tuesday live show moving forward. So I'm really excited to announce this. Tuesdays are going to be more of a resource for you. It's going to be more educational, more topics, more discussion based on Tuesdays at 11. And then Fridays at 11, of course, will be the fun that we always bring, showcasing products, events, things like that. So stay tuned for that. And again, send us a message if you would like to be on our show, and we would love to spotlight you and talk to you more about what you're doing. Okay, so without further ado, I am so excited to announce my first guest, Nancy O'Fallon. Come on out. Hi.
Cindy, how are you?
Good to have you.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She smells so good too. She's got some good stuff on today. Well, have a seat. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before we get into, I know we're going to talk about some of the programs that you've created because you're really making a difference, and I'm so excited to kind of delve into that. But you have such a great story. So I would love, because you're living and breathing what you're doing. So I wanted you to share a little bit about your story because you were in the teaching world for 28 years. So tell the viewers a little bit about that.
I was in the teaching world for 28 years. I taught public education, and then I went to a charter school, and then unlike the public education world, I got laid off. So at the time that I got laid off, my husband was also jobless. So we were in this situation of what do we do? What do we do? And I ended up having to be my own powerful mindset mentor. I had to switch my whole thinking from that despair of, oh my gosh, to really moving into, okay, so we're here. This is really what I've wanted for a while, was to be able to do something different, something new, something exciting, and to work with adults and teach adults and be with adults more. So I basically started working on clearing out my own stuff, my own mental stuff that kept coming into play. And then after a while, then I was able to, when I cleared it out, I was able to go, okay, what do I want? And really envision that and see it out there in the world. And it just slowly but surely started to happen and come to me because I kept putting in the practices and the tools to really guide myself to that vision.
Well, what's so interesting is it's like a failure, right? You're unemployed, and then it's like you create this amazing business out of that. So I love that. I love to hear those kind of stories. Yeah. So that was an inspiration for you. If that hadn't happened, you might not be here today. Very true,
very true. I kept hearing that voice say, but you said this is what you wanted, because I really did want a way to get out and, do my own thing. And all of a sudden, I just had to turn it around. And when I turned it around, it really started working for me. So that's when I got really passionate about teaching that kind of thing to people in the world, because it's very effective. And imagine if we all thought that way. All of a sudden, We have such a mind shift in general, right?
Well, and I want to talk to the viewers a little bit about what you do with your clients, because I know you do one-on-one, you do workshops, different things. So talk to the viewers about what you do with your clients.
So what I do with my clients is I help them clear out the clutter. So that mental clutter that goes on, those things of I can't, I'm stuck, I'm stressed, I'm worried. Clear that out, get that out of their system with some techniques. And then what I do is I help them claim what are their gifts, first of all, within themselves, and what are their gifts that are already out in the world. You know, gratitude is such a big practice. And we really, when we go there, we start to realize, hey, even if it's for the day, I'm breathing. It's a good day because I'm breathing. You know, we have to go to the small things in order to build to the big things. And then what I do with that is once they claim their gifts and they have that vision for what they want to do in the future, then what I do is I help empower them with tools and strategies that they use daily to keep them on the path to that vision. And if they stray, it's perfect because the tool brings them back or a strategy brings them back and they're back in and going again towards that vision.
Well, because it's what you put out there, right, into the universe too. I mean, I find it, everybody has those negative days where it's like, oh, I'm having a bad day, but it's changing that and shifting that, right? And
Shift
that's
your
what
mindset.
You're doing.
Yeah, I shift the mindset. I basically help them take on a more powerful mindset where they're empowered and they're not at the effect of their life going, oh, what am I going to do? It's like, no, I have a vision and I'm moving towards that and I have all these reasons to be grateful, so I'm keep moving.
Well, and I want to talk about the MER technique. That sounds very interesting. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So MER is something I learned in an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming class, and it's a release technique essentially. It's not therapy, it's a lot faster. You utilize sort of a timeline, it's a mental timeline. And again, these things are in your mind because, hey, we're with ourselves 24/7, right? So that's how we make the change. So MER is a way to release those negative emotions, those limiting beliefs, those things that hold you back, that say, oh, I can't, or well, I could, but you know, this, and this. It just clears it out. So, and it's fast. It's a faster technique. It's not immediate, but once the change happens, it's like boom, and you're on to what you really do want in your life.
Well, and is that something that you would use with every client, or do you sort of tailor it to each client differently?
Actually, I use that with my one-on-one clients and I use it in my class.
Okay.
So when I do classes or workshops, that's one of the things that we do is we do that clear out with everybody. Because if you say to someone, oh yeah, go out there and do it, it's so great, they'll hold on to that for about a week or two. And then what do I do now? So you have to give them the techniques. I've used the techniques on myself over and over and over again because they work. And because they're so quick, they take that amount of time and they're done. And
We
so
love that.
Yeah, I've used them and continue to.
I'm going to use some too. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the kinds of clients that you work with, because I know you work a lot with women, but you do work with men and kids and other people too.
Yes, I do. I've worked with children. I've actually done this with children. I've actually done it with, you know, I have clients of all kinds. So one-on-one, I take clients of all kinds. But I also work a lot with working women. As we know, as you know, working women are always busy. They have this plate that's full of just everything they have to do. So they end up going from what they have to do to the next thing, the next thing, next thing. We were just talking about, right, checking it off your list.
The to-do list.
Oh, it's so great. And what happens is they also get off of work and they go home to their family or commitments that they have, so they don't really have free time. They're just going from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And what happens oftentimes with working women is they get really stressed or they can become depressed because everything filters down in the energy.
Well, and they feel like they're not doing enough, right? Or they're not getting enough done or something, and then they don't have any energy.
Yes, so they don't even have time to clear their minds. And so when they don't clear their minds, then that filters down to they are not sleeping at night, they're stressed, they may have pain, they may get sick, and that's their time off, is getting sick? No. So I actually help them to really, again, clear out that clutter and really get balance and equilibrium in their lives.
I was just talking to my girlfriend about this. Every single time I go on vacation, I end up getting sick, and it's because you're so worn out by the time you actually take the vacation, right? Mm-hmm. So you need Nancy for this.
Yes, and teachers are famous for it. That's how I lived my life. Oh, it's right. Vacation time, guess what? Oh, you know what, I'm not feeling so good. So there goes your vacation, being sick. Who wants to do that, right?
No.
So instead, you take your vacation for your vacation.
Well, I was wondering if you could maybe share a tip today for the viewers of something that maybe they could implement,
Yes.
something small that they could do.
Yes. Real quick story. Thomas Edison, Thomas Edison. No, it was Albert Einstein he learned how to hike. And he used to go hiking in the woods all the time. And people always think of him as the scientific guy behind, doing all the experiments and stuff. But he would actually go fishing once a week. And he would take his little boat out on the lake and he'd throw in the hook. And sometimes he didn't even have bait, but he would sit out on the lake for hours, just hanging out with his fishing rod. And it was because he was clearing his mind of the mental clutter, because what happens is when you clear your mind of the mental clutter, then that's when you get to create in your mind. It's a blank slate. If you think about it in your mind, if you have a whiteboard or a chalkboard and it's filled with stuff and someone says, go ahead, live your dream, put your vision on the board, where are you going to do that, right? But if you erase the board and open that space, that's when you have that time and that energy to create what you want next in your life. That's the vision, right?
I love that. It's almost like when I go running, it clears my head and it gives me that time of like, I can think about something, and then I can be creative. So I love that tip.
So the suggestion is basically like, even if you get 5 minutes to get away from a screen, if you can go for a walk, if you can, people say meditation, just be still for 5 to 10 minutes. Each day you build on that. That's a tool. You can really clear that.
Get off your phones, get off social media for 5 minutes, detox, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. And that's something that people can definitely do. I think they can definitely take that away. So you are doing a wisdom workshop, a healing wisdom workshop, which is June 24th and 25th. Marina Village is where you're holding it. Talk to us a little bit about that. And I think that you're going to be offering a little discount.
I am. So the good news about that is all of those tools that I mentioned, that's what's going to happen in the workshop. So we're going to clear out clutter, we're going to claim our gifts, and we're going to be able to have those daily techniques and tools. People will walk away with those strategies and tools to basically go forward with what they want in their lives. So I call it healing wisdom because it heals your mind, and that is going to be on the 24th and 25th of June. And the good news is if you sign up before June 9th, viewers, if you sign up before June 9th, you get it's $175, and it is for the early birds. And then after June 9th, it's $225. You get 2 whole days, Marina Village, really great location right next to the harbor and the boats.
And how long is the workshop?
The workshop really runs from about 9 to 5. It's, I don't go too late into the evening because I know people want time to process. It's a lot to process, to learn, and especially after they do the clear out, you need that quiet time, right?
Well, and I love that they'll have tools, they'll have things that they can implement from that workshop.
Absolutely. And they can remember and utilize the release technique too.
Well, and we are putting the website up right now where you can find out more information, but give them the link. There's also an email.
Right. So the link to the website is newvisionempowerment.com, and then the link to, if you have questions for me or something that you want to ask, it's info@newvisionempowerment.com. So it's very simple.
Perfect. And remember, at 11:35, we'll be on Facebook. And so Nancy will ask, if you want to have specific questions for her, we will be addressing that, and she will answer that for you, for our viewers on the Pulse page. So we're super excited about that. So before I let you go, I want to do entrepreneur confessions with you.
Okay.
So I have to pick my sign up because I love my sign. DIY. My sign. I made that. Okay, so tell us first, because I know we were talking about inspiring entrepreneurs, and we know it's not easy. You've been through a lot in your life and everything. Tell the viewers, what do you do when you're just having a bad day or you need to not throw in the towel? What do you do to keep yourself motivated?
Well, Cindy, I like to put my feet in dirt. Yes, that is my main thing, is I like to go outside. I'll usually go for a walk or something, but then afterwards, if I'm at the grassy area, or I live near the beach and there's sand, I just take my shoes off and stick my feet into the dirt, get grounded, because Mother Earth is my gal, it's everybody's gal, and just really get grounded and still, and it just connects me. It really does. And just enjoy being outside, because we just don't get out enough. We're looking at it on something, but we don't actually get our bodies out into it. So like when you're running, same idea. Just
vitamin D.
Yeah. So put my feet on the ground, and with bare feet is really the big deal.
I love that. And now I have a question for you. So you have to pick from the cup.
Okay. I'm going to pick, and then I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. I will read this for you.
Okay.
We're putting her on the spot. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you? That's a good one.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Boy, that is on the spot. So probably something like being surprised in my classroom, like parents coming in with, one of the most embarrassing things was I used to always, my birthday's in late August, so I used to always wish that my birthday was during school. Well, my 40th birthday was during school. And so I was sort of in this mood and kind of like, okay, and people would say, what birthday is it? It's your birthday, what, how old are you? And I remember thinking, now it's laughable, but, and here I am kind of in this mood, and these parents came in and brought like balloons and
oh my gosh.
Oh, it was super, super wonderful. And I was just like, okay, now I'm really embarrassed because here I was kind of going with my 40th and stuff, and it was great. It was super, super cool, and I was super grateful.
That's so funny. It kind of reminds me of my mom when I was younger and I'd get on the school bus. She would come out and embarrass me and sing, "It's your birthday," and sing at the school bus. And I was like, really, Mom? Like, you've just ruined my entire career. And this was in grade school. So it was like, thank God they didn't have social media back then, because it would have been really embarrassing.
Oh yeah, all over social media.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, Nancy, I want to thank you so much for being a guest. Check her out. Check out her website, newvisionempowerment.com.
Yeah.
She's got some amazing tools. I love what you're doing with the community.
Thank you.
And again, we'll be at Facebook Live at 11:35. We're going to take a quick commercial break from our sponsors of the show, Erin and Larissa from Urban Skincare. So we're going to see them in a second. And then when we come back, it's Jessica Matthews. We'll see you in a minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey everybody, we're here live at Bankers Hill with The Pulse, and we are here with our sponsors. I'm so excited to introduce you to Erin and Larissa, owners of Urban Skincare. They've got 15 years of industry experience, and they're going to be talking about skincare tips, trends, and what you need on our show once a quarter. Hey ladies. So ladies, for the viewers that don't know a lot about skincare, would you share a tip for us? What can they do to take care of their skin?
Sure, we have a couple tips for you today. One is application of your product. It's super important to go ahead and apply your serums and moisturizers to the tips of your fingers, and then you're going to go ahead and apply that to your skin directly. The reason for this is because the palm of your hands will absorb the product very fast, and this also conserves your product as well. The other tip that we have for you today is our triple factor protection. This SPF is one of those non-negotiable products. You need to have this on your skin. It's protecting your skin from environmental stresses as well as UVA and UVB. It's also stimulating collagen growth. It's helping to protect any damaged proteins that have been done to the cells, and it's repairing DNA damage as well.
So what's the SPF on this?
This is a broad spectrum 50. It also has a little bit of a sheer tint to it, so it will give you that extra protection with the zinc and titanium oxide in it. That's where you're getting that color from, that mineral color.
I love that tint, and you need that, especially in Southern California. So you heard it here first on The Pulse, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much, ladies.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. At The Pulse Live, I'm your host, Cindy Matalucci. We have another fabulous guest. I cannot wait to bring her out. I'm introducing Jessica Matthews. Come on out.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Hi, Cindy.
How are you?
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so
Good to be here.
excited. Have a seat.
All right.
So Jessica and I, just to give you some background, we've been going back and forth, I think, for almost a year.
We have.
Like trying to do something together. So we finally made it happen. So I'm really excited.
Me too.
She's finally here. So, I mean, I love this. You do so much. I mean, you're very multi-talented.
Thank you for saying that. I stay busy is how I usually describe it. But yes, I dabble in a number of different yet related areas.
Yes, and so I know we're going to talk about a lot of different things today, but I want to talk a little bit about your history and sort of how you got involved in everything. Because I know that you're an industry expert in the field of health and fitness, professor of kinesiology at Point Loma Nazarene University, yoga instructor. So talk to us about how you sort of got involved in this industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the funny part I'll share, I always, this is kind of my opening joke. I've worked in the fitness and health field for the last 17 years, so it's not my age.
She started when she was 2.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of play that up as long as I can still say that joke. But yeah, I've been doing this for the last 17 years, and really how it started for me was it was a part-time position that I took at an all-women's gym 17 years ago. And what I found through it was really I started teaching group fitness classes, which I know we shared this history. It was step aerobics. You know all about this.
I taught step aerobics. We should have done a little choreographed thing today.
We'd have amazing routines, all sorts of good stuff. But it started really what I found through teaching group fitness was I loved educating people. And I was not always the very talkative person that you see today. And I share this with my students. I was a bit more reserved. But when I taught group fitness, it was like all this energy came out. And it was so exciting to me to be able to motivate and empower people to really transform their lives in so many different ways. And that's what actually spawned my interest in, going on to, start schooling to become, my ultimate career goal was to be a college professor. And so here I am today doing what I love, and I wouldn't change a minute of it.
That is so cool. Well, and you're also a trusted source for CNN, Washington Post, women's health fitness expert, and OWN TV, hello, with Oprah. How cool is that?
It was a pretty neat experience. Yeah, the team at OWN has been amazing to work with. So fun to be able to, be a part of that web-based series, which is #OWNShow. That's the official name. And just to be able to share health and fitness information with people, to bring it right into their homes, really unique opportunity. And it's funny, I'll share this too. At one point, I thought, did I want to go on to, kind of go the education route, become an educator, ultimately a college professor? But I did think a little bit about getting into broadcasting and actually wanting to be a reporter for ESPN. I love sports. I'm a huge New York Jets fan. Everyone who knows
she's so good on you're so good on camera too.
You're so sweet, coming from the expert here. But so it's so funny that now my media work really kind of gets to play off of that, and I've actually always loved to write too. And now as an author, I get to kind of blend all these different things together, all centered around health and well-being.
Well, it all goes together, which I love. Well, and here's a fun fact: you were featured on the It List, so it's the May issue of Modern Luxury magazine, which we have a copy, so you're gonna have to pick this up. Whoops. I love Modern Luxury.
Such a good magazine.
Yeah, so you were on the It List, so talk to us about this. This was pros that are making people feel better,
Absolutely.
right?
So yeah, the team for Modern Luxury, just very humbling, reached out to me and said, we're putting together this It List for 2017 of, like you said, San Diego-based professionals who are helping people look and feel their best. And they said, we'd love to feature you kind of as our featured fitness and wellness expert. And I was just like, amazing. So yeah, the May issue just came out, and really humbling, like I said, to be included in that list of really great professionals.
Well, it really shows that you're making a difference and you're making people feel healthier and better and more fit. So I love that. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, now I want to tap into a little bit about something that you're excited about. I know this is big for you. You launched a new master's program at the college.
Yes.
Talk to us. I think you can sign up for classes. We're going to show you the website and everything because it's starting, I think you said, August 28th.
Yes, so our fall semester starts August 28th, which is right around the corner. But yes, really excited. This is just, such an opportunity for me to be a part of an amazing university. Point Loma Nazarene University is where I teach in Point Loma. And it's just, we're creating a brand new program. The program is a master's in kinesiology with a focus on integrative wellness. So I know we've talked a bit about this, and you heard so much from Nancy too, such an amazing guest, about really, treating the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. And traditionally, the background that I've originally come from in my career was all very physical focused. But what I've learned in working with real life people is you get their minds, their bodies, and their spirits. You can't separate them. So I think this is such an opportunity to really evolve the field and create that next generation of health and wellness professionals, and to arm them with the tools, the education, the knowledge, so that they can really transform people's lives from a multidimensional perspective.
So I'm assuming a lot of trainers would be interested in this program, right?
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Trainers, registered dietitians, who are really, again, because the heart of the program really centers around behavioral change.
Okay.
Because, people, for the most part, they tend to know what they should eat, how they should move, but we really get to the heart in the program of, how do we get people to really make those meaningful changes and make them lasting changes.
And stop self-sabotaging, right?
Yes.
I'm like the worst. It's like I lose a few pounds and then I'm like, I want crackers. crackers and bread and this and that. And I'm like, I go and eat it. I'm like, why did I just do that?
Yeah.
So it's like, it sounds like those are little topics or things that you could really switch the mindset for that.
A lot around health coaching, which again, I know Nancy talked a little bit about that too, is really getting into the mindset and helping people just to really reframe their perspective. So this, I think, again, is the missing piece that's been in the health and fitness space. And so I'm excited to be able to bring such an amazing program to Point Loma. And if people would like more information, pointloma.edu/IW for integrative wellness.
Perfect. And we have the link on there. And then obviously we'll have the link on our website for Nancy and for Jessica and everywhere to find everything about these two fabulous women. So we will have that up. But now I want to talk to something that I'm passionate about, and you are doing yoga classes in the beautiful location in Sunset Cliffs at the Inn. Let's talk about this.
Yes, so I have to say this, a huge shout out to the Inn at Sunset Cliffs, which is the location where we hold the classes. They have been such an amazing partner for me to be able to bring my passion, and I know yours too, to be able to bring yoga to the community. So at the Inn at Sunset Cliffs, every Sunday at 11 a.m., we do a fully donation-based class. It's a 75-minute yoga class. It's designed to bring people together to work on what we just talked about, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and to do some good work and service for the community. So 100% of the proceeds from each and every class are donated to various organizations, because this is how I feel I can be of service to the community, in addition to all the wonderful other things that I get to do in the field I love. I really want to be able to make a difference right here in San Diego.
Well, and how do you pick the companies that you donate to? Do they approach you, or is it something that can they get information from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, any organization, feel free to reach out. They're all nonprofit organizations. So that's an important piece of the organizations, that we make our beneficiaries of our classes. How it's really started, quite honestly, is they're organizations I'm really passionate about. So for example, and actually very fitting today, May the 19th, my sister passed away 8 years ago today.
Oh my gosh.
And my sister actually passed away from a drug overdose. And so one of the things that I'm very passionate about in talking about this more holistic approach to health and wellness is really raising awareness for substance abuse, for mental illness, for other things that sometimes aren't always talked about so openly. And so one of the groups we donated to, for example, was called Naturally High. They're here in San Diego.
Wow.
Natural High they're focused on really helping kids to find what sparks their natural high, what gets them excited about life so they don't turn to drugs and alcohol.
I love that, because that's happened in my family. That's happened to me. I've had experts on the show, Scott Silverman, talking about things like that. HopeTogether.org is an organization that we've worked with. So I would love to put you in touch with them too.
Wonderful.
Because that would be amazing. And it's so great because you have to talk about this kind of stuff. We can't sweep it under the carpet.
Absolutely.
So I love that you're doing that. It's so amazing. Well, now we have to talk about her other talent, which is writing. So you just did a book. I know that this is Stretching to Stay Young, so it kind of fits with the whole yoga and everything that you're doing. So talk to me about this.
Yeah, so you got a copy right there, Stretching to Stay Young. Really excited to be able to work on this particular project. The publisher reached out to me, really wanting to do, a book focused around flexibility training, which I'll tell you, and you probably know too from your background, flexibility is the most often overlooked component of fitness. People do cardio, people strength train, and flexibility often falls by the wayside. So I'm really excited to be able to put together, kind of a comprehensive guide, easy to use for any ability level. Each of the stretches included in there has both a progression, so how you can make it more intense or more challenging, and also a regression, how you can make it more accessible and suitable for your level.
So what made you decide? I feel like stretching is something that people miss out on a lot. They do their workout, they forget to stretch, and then there's like so many ailments that you get from it. What made you decide to do stretching?
Yeah, I think for me personally, coming from a fitness background, like I shared, I started in a lot of cardio-based workouts, step, high-intensity things, cardio kickboxing. And for me personally, flexibility was honestly, I talk about this actually in the intro for the book, it was something I never did. And even in my early 20s, I was starting to feel the effects of not taking care of my body in the ways that I really needed to. Plus the emotional, mental, that's what led me down the yoga pathway too. But I think that's just something, again, that's not as focused on often in fitness. So I just love the opportunity to put together, a comprehensive guide that's really, again, user-friendly. People can understand it. And the thing that's so interesting is often in fitness, we look for what's the latest, greatest, craziest new thing.
We jump on the craze.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the truth. The things that are tried and true, if we did those and did them consistently, they would have the best results.
So that's a good tip for the viewers then, right? So don't jump on the craze so much. Stick with things that are I mean, would you say, is that a good tip?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is, find what you're passionate about, because that's so important. You have to love what you do, especially when it comes to physical activity, movement of any kind. Remember, exercise doesn't have to be just at a gym either. This is something I always share. And actually, an organization I work with, the American Council on Exercise, they've dedicated this month, they've called it Get Moving May.
Oh.
And the intention is just to get out and get moving. Do whatever you enjoy doing. Think about movement. It's so beautiful. Your body's capable of so many things. Get out there, move in ways you like, but then once you find those things, do them and do them consistently. Make them a priority in your life because you're a priority.
I love that. Well, and her book is available at Amazon. Also, you can find out more about everything on your website, right?
Absolutely.
At jessicamatthews.com.
Yep, jessica-matthews.com. Yep, got the link to the book, information about the yoga classes, and all sorts of other good stuff.
So excited. And then I heard a little rumor you're actually doing a yoga retreat in Costa Rica in June.
I am. Yes, it's coming up only a few weeks away. So I am doing a retreat in Costa Rica in June. And ironically, I actually have one spot that just opened unexpectedly. So it's so funny you even bring this
I wasn't
up.
going to say anything, but I was like, I went to your site and I'm like, oh, I want to go to that. That sounds like fun. So there's one spot open.
There's one spot open. Yeah, it's a yoga and wellness retreat. I'll tell you just a couple cool highlights. You might have seen this, but we actually have a celebrity chef that's doing all of the food for the retreat. It's a fully raw, plant-based kind of reset, if you will. And she's the celebrity chef for people like Tom Brady, even though I'm a New York Jets fan.
Tom Brady looks good.
Yeah, and his wife Giselle, who also...
They eat, I know, everyone's talking about their diet, so I'm sure that's awesome that you have that chef.
Yeah, so we have the chef preparing all of our meals for us. We've got private villas, and also the chef's actually doing an interactive raw food cooking class for us so that we can learn how we take all of that great information, how to make plant-based foods just taste amazing and look beautiful, and do that once we leave Costa Rica.
Oh, I love that. Well, so go to her website, jessica-matthews.com,
You got it.
for more information. And then before I let you leave today, we have to do our entrepreneur confessions. So what do you do when you're having a tough day?
So funny you say that because I got to hear Nancy's, and I'll tell you the truth. So my home office, this is a fun little fact, is basically a she shed, if you will. That became a popular thing.
I love the she shed.
I was basically working in a shed before it was a cool thing, but now it's cool and I'm hip and like I'm in tune with stuff. But so what I do often, if I just start to feel overwhelmed, I'm writing a book, I'm doing all these different things, lots of stuff just processing in my mind. I honestly walk outside of my office, I just lie down on the ground. I lie down and I just, look up at the sky. We live in San Diego. The weather's usually amazing for me to do this. Just lie close to the ground. Like Nancy said, get grounded. It really does make such a difference. And just kind of acknowledge, I feel like it's an opportunity for me to really practice that gratitude for all the things that I'm able to do. So when I kind of go, gosh, life is getting crazy and so many people are asking so many things of me, I say, wow, what an amazing opportunity I have to be able to work with great people and to impact people's lives in what I feel is a really meaningful way.
I love that. And we don't stop and smell the roses enough. We're so hard on ourselves. So just taking that second or that minute or that 5 minutes to just decompress and enjoy the fact that we're alive, we're breathing, we're living, and yes, we're in San Diego. Things could be worse, right?
And I love you use the word decompress. That's like my favorite word because that's what it is. Whether it's a minute, whether it's 10 minutes, sometimes it turns into an hour but I just kind of listen to what my mind and body need, and it makes a huge difference. And so when people say, how do you balance all these things? I make sure that I have some self-care practices that help me to do that. Got to practice what I preach.
I love that. Okay, so now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Now you have to pick a question.
All right. I'll let you read it.
What's your most memorable experience as an entrepreneur?
My most memorable experience as an entrepreneur. This is challenging because there's a lot of I've had definitely some really unique opportunities. You mentioned the OWN show already, so I won't use that since now you guys kind of know that that's something I've done, but that was definitely a really amazing opportunity. But I'll share another fun one that not as many people know. About 5 years ago, I actually was in Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Hershey headquarters, which is not where you'd associate maybe that I would be spending my time, but I actually led to a group of a couple hundred people that were there. I actually led a dance-based class format with a guest teacher who was Nancy O'Dell.
Oh my my God, I love her. I've met her. I've interviewed her. She's so cool.
She's amazing. So yeah, we got to spend, and then we did a little media tour together. So we headed over to New York. We got to stay at the Ritz. That's not a normal place I stay, but Nancy might stay there more than I do. But we got to hang out together, spend some time together, hit some of the news stations in New York. And yeah, it was really fun. We just, talking about, again, the beauty of movement and just having fun with it. I mean, here's Nancy and I, and she was at the time, very short-lived, but she was on Dancing with the Stars, if you remember.
Oh, yes, I remember.
So that was kind of, she was passionate about dancing, getting people moving, and having fun while doing it. So here was her and I. We've got a couple fun pictures of just like doing
I want to see that. Do you have video of that?
I don't know if we have video. I'll have to find out. We've got some photos for sure, and we're doing just some kind of fun dance moves.
That is so cool. Well, I love you never know too. It's like you never know who you're going to meet, where your career is going to bring you, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
Well, it's perfect. Well, check out Jessica Matthews. Thank you so much. You've been such a great guest today.
Thanks for having me.
And it's Friday. We're going to close our show, but I do want to let you guys know that this will be archived on our website, www.thepulsesd.com. So if you were not able to tune into the live show, make sure you watch everything because these ladies were amazing. And then we're going to go to Facebook at 11:35. So make sure that you tune into our Facebook page. Take this opportunity to ask these ladies questions because they're such a great resource. So you'll have an opportunity at 11:35 to tune in, and we will see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. So thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.